This thing working? Are we on?
Uh,
New tech?
yeah, new tech. It's not working.
we're starting soon. If we got the
Yeah,
early birds listening,
yeah, we're
we're
live, but we're
here.
not.
We're live, but we can't go until we're spurred to action. We need the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's not kicking in for some reason. So,
It happens. We don't need the soundtrack. Are you not
oh,
entertained? That's
oh,
it.
here we go. Here we go. I
You
see.
got it. You know, and I forgot to put the podcast on Discord. I think our fam knows that we're on every Saturday, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. So they should tune in by now. You know, I'm fucking sick of giving reminders. Y'all should know.
Here we
I
go.
hope.
This will start.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We're back.
Is this not why you are here?
Oh yeah. Prime Minds episode 10. We're all here together. All 5 of us in together, one place. You all are here. You're with us. You're listening. You're tuned in. This is 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm at. I'm not going to fully dox myself, but we're going to get a little bit into that today. A little bit about ourselves, the Prime Minds, who we are, and then we're going to get into the whole week since the last time we chatted with you. But we're here. You know the team. It's Gonzaga. It's By the Dip. It's Vita G. It's Z Mackin. What's up, everybody? How's everybody feeling today? Collectively, how are y'all feeling?
Hey,
Is that
this
a
is
yes?
Gonzaga. Yeah, I'm
Rah
doing
rah.
good. Glad to be alive.
Gonzaga's good. Dip, how you
Yeah.
feeling?
Hey man, I'm good. Enjoying the Vegas weather. Out here doing it.
Dip is in Vegas. Shit, you're degening the crypto market's not enough for you. You got to go even more. I feel you though. Vita, how you feeling?
Yeah, this is Vita.
Vita
I'm doing
G.
well this morning. We got some tech going, so we're all just trying to figure it out. So it's exciting. I love it.
We do, man. Actually, a shout out to Gonzaga. As always, he's driving. He's in the driver's seat. We couldn't do this without him. And we're on some new type of platform, but I think it's going to work out. Z Mackin, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing good, boys. I'm just out here.
Might have cut off.
Yeah, got out.
Z, you cut off. Is it the rainy weather over there? All good. Z Mackin is feeling good. And I think he'll be back with us in a sec. You know, if you're a long-time listener or first-time listener, we this is the Prime Minds podcast. We talk about Champions Ascension. Mac, you back with us? I heard something.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, boys.
Do you want to complete your thought? How you feeling, man? We don't want to leave you out.
I'm doing good this morning, boys. Just out here, like I was trying to say, waiting to make some money, man. I got my work decided to ruin my weekend for me and keep me on call all weekend, so I figured I'd soak up as many dollar bills from as I can. Kick
Shit,
it with you boys in the meantime.
I know. Oh, so you're working. All right, cool. Yeah, we all have to work still, unfortunately. Hopefully, this game moons. I told you guys, look, I'm ready to go full time, learn how to play this game, and make some economics that way. But that's another story. Like I was saying, we always interview. We do some good interviews with the Champions Ascension team, the brilliant developers. We come to you weekly. If you're a first-time listener, we talk about Champions Ascension, which is a play-to-earn game. It's an NFT game. You got to buy one of these Prime Eternal Champions Ascensions NFTs to get in. And we've done a lot of interviews with some of the brilliant devs who are making the game. It's coming out still. And today we're going to do a little bit something different. We talk, you hear us every week, but we're going to find out and share a little bit more about ourselves, who we are. This is episode 10, so I feel like this is a pretty big milestone for that. We've done this for 10 weeks in a row now. I don't think we're going anywhere. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the team feels, but I think that we enjoy doing this. But I want to go around. I want to share a little bit about ourselves, but I'm going to switch this up a little bit. I'm going to interview the rest of the Prime Minds team for maybe about 10 minutes here or so. But first, just a few questions. Let's get into it, and then we're going to go alphabetical order. Gonzaga, I got a question for you. First of all, you can dox yourselves as little bit or as much as you would like. I still haven't figured out how much or how little I want to dox myself, but I might answer some of these questions too. So as I ask these questions, feel free to share in very general way or very specific ways. But I'm going to ask these questions however, and you can answer however you want. Question, Gonzaga. Who are you? Where are you from? What skill sets or experiences or life experience have you acquired up to this point?
Yeah. So, okay. So first off, apparently this our live stream, it seems like it's not working on YouTube for some reason. So, I mean, it's recording, but I don't know where it's going. So,
Do you want to, like, we can keep it like this
yeah, we'll
and
we'll
then
keep it
give you a
going, but
sec
no, yeah,
to
we'll keep it
try to.
going, but it might not upload until later. And so I'm not sure what's happening here. So, I mean, it's streaming right now and it's live, but for some reason it's not
Not showing on the YouTube,
going
and
live
I'm
on
not.
YouTube. Yeah. So, so
Who?
we'll get it figured out, and after the show, maybe we'll just have to upload it and people can watch it then. But
No,
yeah,
that's good. I don't, and you know what? When it comes to live viewers, I don't know how many we get all the time. How many
yeah, it's
live viewers
weird.
we
The
usually
the
get?
chat's live. I can see V to G talking in chat, but yeah,
Well, you
apparently the
you
video.
didn't have King Dav come in and push buttons, bro. That's what he needs to do.
Man,
Come
I
on,
gotta hit
dude.
the magic button. I already wasted our live. I know.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Does somebody want to make a quick disclaimer announcement on the Discord at least? And yeah, we'll keep going. Ain't no
Yeah,
biggie.
let me look at this and see if I can figure it out. Give
Not
me a
you,
second.
be someone like Vita or ZMAC and just like say, hey, we're having a little technical difficulties, but you can catch us on live sooner than later. I would do it, but I literally
I
can't
do.
do two things at one time.
Yeah, I got it. You're good.
It's weird. All right.
Hey,
Anyway,
no,
so
go
yeah.
ahead, man. Yeah, look, question number 1, and we're going to interview the prime minds right now. Who are you? Where are you from? What skill sets or experiences or life experiences have you acquired up to this point?
All right. Yeah. So basically, I'm a gamer that had a talent in programming, and so I decided to capitalize on it. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's like I I saw games. I was frustrated with some of the mechanics. I always thought that things weren't, some things weren't fair. Some things weren't. I didn't like the randomness of it. I thought things should be based on skill and not just because you had better equipment or better, um, luck. And so I saw Adventure Quest was kind of a big influence. Dark Age of Camelot, and I thought, at the time, I actually came back. I came from a background of manual labor, just like tiling, remodeling, just construction, stuff like that, and decided that my wife actually made more than me at the time, and it cost
Oh, that's good.
more to
You married
go
up.
to. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's always good to marry
yeah.
up, man. That's what I did too. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we had like 3 toddlers at the time, and it cost more to pay for babysitting and to go to work than it did to just stay home.
Bro,
And so
for
I ended
real.
up, trying to think, okay, so what am I blessed with? What was I given that I can do something with in this life? And so I thought, I was really good at programming, and so I just went with it and taught myself programming. Help people on forums, help people with their bugs and trying to fix them and things like that. And then entered a bunch of contests, and eventually, I actually got a job in programming, and just went from there.
Wow. How did you know you were good at programming? You just picked it up somewhere somehow? Like, how did you even start that?
Yeah. Back in high school, I just got straight A's without without even trying. So
Like
it was just
computer
like,
programming
yeah,
classes?
I really liked
Or
it.
are you smart in every single subject? Like, because
No,
we see Gonzaga,
no,
we
no.
see you're doing everything over here. Like, you're involved in every single project. You run the fucking prime minds, the tech. You're the captain of the ship. All I do is fucking talk. But if it wasn't for your technological ability, we wouldn't be broadcasting right now. So you were good at tech and programming. Like, that's something that you were just naturally, you think, good at.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was just good at it. It was like a talent I was given, and so I went with it, and that's what I encourage everybody else to do.
Yeah. Well, I think some people are born with some gifts, and I don't even want to sell you short, man. I know there's a lot of work involved, even if you're born with a gift or blessed with the right type of genes. You still have to work and practice and perfect your craft, and obviously that's what you've done. It's what you're doing. Um, So you didn't go to college for programming or anything? You just like taught yourself and started doing it professionally?
So yeah, so originally I did try to go to college, and I had there was a government program I was a part of that was like a like voc rehab, and this was back during the government cutbacks when the gas prices were super high, and they actually ended up cutting my program, and so I
Mm.
had about a year or so, and I thought, you know what, I don't want this to end. You know, like I enjoyed what I was doing, and I knew I was good at it. And
Mhm.
so I said, you know what? I mean, my instructors were barely even teaching me anything anyway, because I had to just, I just Googled things and did the homework. And so I thought, you know, I've got a talent here. I don't want this to be over, and so I just went for it, and I taught myself and just kept
There it is,
going.
bro.
The
Fucking
ambition.
do it your way.
Mhm.
Gonzaga did it his way. All right, same question. We're going alphabetical order. Um, where we at? By the dip, man. By the dip. Who are you? Where are you from? What skill sets or experience or life experience have you acquired up to this point?
Yeah, obviously, I'm by the dip, and my experience, my little journey was, I was in the military, got out, was searching for something, always been a great communicator, um, opened up some businesses. As a young kid, I think my first business I opened, I was like, 23, sold it for a profit, opened up another business, sold it for a profit. And then I worked in the government for a while. Um, and I would work closely with senators and certain congressmen and stuff, um, secretary of the
Wow.
VA, stuff like that. Yeah. And then just got tired of the political stuff. I've always been more into the economical money. Markets always fascinated me. So then I got into the stock market about 2018. Um, Learned very hard journey from there. During that time, blew up 2 accounts, lost a lot of money because I didn't know what I was doing. But I know
Mm.
you make money in this type of thing. So I was like, well, you know, damn it, how are these other guys making money, but I'm losing money? So along the way, I learned a lot of stuff, man. I learned how markets move. I learned that market makers make the market, and always follow the money. Um, so
Mm.
I went through
Okay.
that, and then I went through the 2019 bull run, right, where you saw the AMC, you saw the GameStop, you saw the Dogecoin, right? Relived
Yeah.
that, then relived the crash. Then I lived through the crash, right, of
What were you
2020.
part? Were you part of that running up the AIMS on the GameStop? One of those
Yes,
the Reddit investors, Wall Street bets, and all that. Was that
I
you?
act. Yes, I'm actually. If you go and Reddit, like, or if you guys ever join the community, right? Um, Wall Street bets. I'm by the dip in there. Um,
Oh
so
shit!
that's where.
I missed it, man. I missed that money making opportunity. I was right after it, right when the news headlines came. When the headlines come out, you're fucking late, right? You know that. So that's when I started checking Wall Street bets. Like, what the hell is going on here? But yeah,
Yeah.
continue.
Um. So I bought high on GameStop, right? Lost my ass out, but then I bought AMC at like $4, and then it freaking shot up, right? So,
Yeah.
like I say, you win some, you lose some, and those were just straight meme stocks. But throughout that time, I learned a lot. So, like, I learned a lot about the stock market. I learned about a lot about trends, about volume, about businesses to invest to. So, that's what I do now. You know, um, I day trade, and I I call the dips. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's kind of my little story. I went through a lot of learning experiences young, opened up businesses young, and then the markets is what fascinated me. And like I said, trying to predict what's going to happen next, I always like doing that.
Man, that's fresh, bro. So you're like a military experience out of high school, some entrepreneur, and then self-taught. It's like you paid a tuition anyway, man. It's like learning in the market, losing big, sounds like, and then hitting some, losing some, winning some, but really learning by experience. Kind of
Yes,
like Gonzaga. Just
yes,
learn by
it's
doing.
called sweat equity, right? Like my sweat was my money getting lost, So you learn a lot from that.
Mm-hmm. And I thought this was going to go quicker, man, but I think we're good. I like this form. Vita, take as much time or as little time as you need, but I'm going to ask you the same question. Vita G, who are you? Where are you from? What skill sets or experiences or life experience have you acquired up to this point?
Yeah, thanks so much. This is Vita G. Yeah, it is a question of how deep do you want to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you want to touch it? Do you want to graze the surface? Like, you want to take a minute? What do you want to do?
No, I'm good here. I think, I did have a fair bit of education, right? Did my undergrad. I actually studied microbiology. I was hoping to go be a doctor, right? And that plan didn't pan out. So then I switched.
I'm learning
and
so much, man. I'm learning about all you guys. This is exciting. I'm loving this. Go ahead. This is great.
It is good. Yeah.
Microbiology.
Studied microbiology. Then I worked some just random jobs, but learned a ton. I worked manufacturing. I interned with a church. I scheduled years, did a bunch of just random stuff. Decided to get a master's degree. So I got a master's degree. And now I work for the government. I do that thing. And currently auditing healthcare facilities. So that's what I spend my day job is that. But
right. You smart. I knew you were a smart guy, bro. I didn't know you were an educator like that. Holy shit. All right. Let's go. Yeah.
I love education, man. My parents really instilled in me, like, you should always be continuing your education, whether it's in the formal sense of a classroom or just like following your passions and learning more about them. And that's really where this comes in, right? I was looking at, I got into investing out of my undergrad, wanted to, figure out how I could make my money work for me. I've been slowly, doing that thing. I probably about even on my losses versus my gains, but have learned a lot along the way, right? And then I've been a gamer my whole life, and so it's like, that's awesome. Like, what are ways that I can figure out how I can make money or gaming, doing something I love. But beyond all that, I would say just like what is a true like life passion of mine and something that I think I'm good at. I hope you all agree is I love building communities. I love getting to know people. I love just people that they're valuable, right? And just that we all have something to give, especially in this space. So we can all just, I think, particularly in this last week, like the thing that kept coming up for me is like fight for space in this space, create space, like where we have space in this community and in this space. Like we have an infinite number of possibilities. So like, go find what you're passionate about in this space and do something. Build it, make it your own. That's awesome.
That's fucking gems right there, right? It's a big, wide open frontier. You're 100% correct, man. It's not. I think you can take two ways of looking at it. It's like the abundance mindset is a way that you can look at Web3 because it's wide open, brand new frontier. So it's like you can just claim your own space in it. That's 100% correct. Real quick, man, what was the master's in? What did you get super educated in?
I got a master's in public health. Public health.
Bet. Damn, Vita. Next pandemic, I'm calling you, bro. You're gonna tell me what to do. All right. Okay, where are we at? Z Mackin, bro. Do you need? I'll repeat the question for you in the audience. Who are you? Where are you from? What skill sets or experiences or life experience or work have you acquired up to this point?
Yo, can you hear me, boys?
I can hear you.
My phone keep trying to have technical issues on my side, but I mean,
Y'all suck,
I feel like,
man. I did my check-ins with Gonzaga all week, so I'm good. Yep. But go ahead.
Yep, we're good. Okay, so I feel like I've pretty much put it out there more than any of you guys. Just in my name, and I'll tell you guys, my first name is Zach. If that doesn't make any sense with my gamer tag at all, but
got the Z.
Yep. I've also made it abundantly clear that I live up in the Pacific Northwest, up in the Seattle area. It's where I was born and raised, in the cold and rain. But damn, we have some beautiful summers, and I love it up here, man. It's helped definitely shape who I am, because I'm a person who, believe me, all the rain comes along and I game, and all the sun comes out and I get out in the woods and do my thing, and
Oh, that's nice.
So I came up from humble beginnings, man. I grew up with a few brothers and sisters and lived on government support and had a hard time, struggled. I moved out or got kicked out or had nowhere to go when I was 16, and so I had to figure out how to support myself one way or another, and that's kind of definitely shaped the
Mm-hmm.
person that I've become. And I've always kind of had that mindset of, my girlfriend calls it the hustler mindset, right? Like, what's the next hustle going on? And so one thing led to another, and eventually, my work, I got introduced to crypto, and I looked at that, and that kind of just took over a lot of my time. I was gaming. I guess I've been gaming for 30 years, boys, and or more, and crypto kind of was turning into the next game for me, right? Like I like to do research into stuff. I like to learn about a bunch about the stuff that I'm interested in. So I started looking into crypto, and then got rugged pretty hard. And just like Dip did, you lose a bunch of money, but you learn some good lessons from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I invested in some IDOs that didn't do anything except for stay locked, and invested in some other stuff. I made some money on SHIB, made some money on a little bit of Elon, a bunch of altcoins and meme coins, and that was taking up a bunch of time, and I was like, I miss my gaming. How can I get back to gaming, right? So
Yeah.
I looked up play to earn games, and that introduced me to the world of NFTs. And then one thing led to another, and I found Champions Ascension, which is my first NFT that I had, and the rest is history with you boys. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I mean, I grew up, like I said, I grew up not having much. So I actually find it quite funny that my first actual job outside of just, random small stuff when I was young, was working at a bank. I started as a bank teller, moved up to customer representative, and worked there for over 7 years. And I've got
Damn.
it's nothing much, I went to community college and got an associate's in business degree. Um, Graduated with essentially, like, what is it, like 60 credits more than I needed, because I did this program in Washington that it's called Running Start, where I was taking college classes in high school for my senior year, and then decided to go back for another year to get the business degree, because I've always been
Mm-hmm.
business minded, entrepreneurial. How can I make some money? That
Were you
hustle
a smart
mindset.
guy in school to do like some of those college classes in high school? Did you have to be pretty smart, like
Oh
gifted
yeah,
students?
up until I went to college, my worst grade in any class was a B plus. So
Damn.
yeah, and
Vita?
that was
No,
I
not
think that was
Vita.
geometry, because
Z-Mackin?
I hate geometry, but
No
Holy
way.
shit.
I
You guys
love
are smart.
geometry.
you can keep it, Gonzaga. You can keep them shapes,
I
bro.
love geometry and trigonometry and stuff like that. It just makes
Oof.
sense to me. So
Gonzaga's
But yeah, no,
binary, ones and zeros. Go ahead,
math was my
Mackin.
favorite
Yeah.
subject by far, dude. It's numbers always stay the same. You can't fucking change them, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Not me.
but no, I was a smart kid. I actually wanted to be a lawyer when I was younger, and then had a bad experience when I was in a court bathroom. I was taking a shit and hearing two lawyers talking about who they were going to trade for what. You know what I mean? So imagine the concept of, straight shit coming out of me, and I'm hearing straight shit coming out of their mouths, and they're deciding people's fates. And I'm just like,
Man,
wow,
it's
that is
sick.
not the type of person I can't see myself as being that type of person, right? So I was just like,
Yeah.
at that point, fuck that, I'm gonna do something else.
What
No,
a
no
sick.
inclinations to be a doctor, no, or like Vita G. I'm gonna call him Dr. Vita from now on. But
Dr. V. He still can do it. Why not, man? Let's push him to be a damn
right.
doctor. That's
But
fucking
yeah,
amazing.
I'm just
Go
here
ahead.
for the ride, boys. I enjoy all of it. Enjoy spending time with y'all.
Gifted group, man. And I guess I'll kind of, I'm not going to take a long time. Maybe, episode 20, 30, 40, 50. We'll learn more about all of us. But I'm thinking about right now, I didn't even think about how I was going to answer these questions. I wrote these damn questions. But I'm figuring I could either talk about where I'm from or what I do, because I'm not going to brag. I'm sort of a big deal where I'm at, and it'll be easy to find me if I give y'all too much. That was funny. That wasn't even a humble brag. That was a real brag. But look, we'll go here. I'm kind of like you, Z-Mac, and probably a lot of us. We didn't get into it, but yeah, very humble beginnings. From Detroit, the Rust Belt, Detroit, Michigan, the hood. Grew up, honestly, people talked about it being the murder capital, murder city in the 80s, the 90s, gang violence. I grew up in the 80s, 90s, inside inner city of Detroit, Michigan. So it was definitely that. Um, Grew up with gunshots around me. Went to high school when there was a lot of gang wars and gang turfs. A lot of kids I grew up with was shot and killed. I remember having to sit on the floor at my grandmother's house because there was drive-bys up and down the street because of gang wars, gang turfs, fighting over where people can sell drugs. What gang member had, what gang had this street, what gang had that street. And inside of all that, there was just neighborhood drug dealers who wanted to fight the gangs that were trying to take over their turf. So I know people that were like selling crack, selling drugs on the street corner, and they just got shot in the back of the head trying to make some money. So that's kind of me growing up as a young man and a teenager. But I think the same as a lot of you, man. I was just, I'd say, blessed with a little bit of being able to like do my homework, a little bit gifted in honors classes. I seen a lot of. I think I was really aware as a young person, seen a lot of the fucking chaos and death and like um, insanity around me, and wanted to get out of that at least mentally. Funny enough, like I'm still in the same and raised in. It's not as bad as it was when I grew up, but it's still not great. And I just stayed in this community because I care about it. I guess I care about community, just like Vita said, in real life community, and then the Web3 community now. But stayed here. I went to college, worked. I won't tell you what I studied because then you'll know what I do. But really just, put all my resources, effort, time, and energy back into where I'm from. And I'm still in the same damn neighborhood I grew up in. That's kind of a little bit of my story. I might start talking about what I do in future podcasts, but I'm not going to give you all that yet. Okay, second question. And this is taking a long time, but I'm cool with it. If y'all want to stay here, you want to go to question number 2?
Do it.
Let's go to question number 2. Gonzaga, we're starting at the top. This might be even quicker. Why did you decide to do this podcast? Gonzaga, alphabetical order.
Interesting. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't. And so that's,
I forced you.
I mean, no. I mean, so you and Z Mackin and I, we did like a little, we're like, hey, yeah, let's just, let's talk on each other's channels and let's, get some content out there for CA. And after that, I mean, honestly, like I was just like, dude, this guy, like he has the voice, he has the hype, you have the energy.
Oh, don't talk. Look, I already built myself up, man. No more.
No, I was like, dude, this guy's he has yeah. And anyway, I was just thinking that, and then I think Vita G messaged me, and then I think By the Dip messaged me. They're like, hey, we should do a podcast, and it was like within minutes of each other, and so I was just like, all right, this is a thing, like this is gonna happen. So then and so of course, By the Dip, Vita G. And then you and Z Mac in the original, and it just kind of all clicked. And I was like, "Hey, are you interested?" And yeah, we just went from there. So
and here we are, 10 weeks later, huh?
It was fate.
It was fate. And 10 weeks. So everybody hits you up at exactly like the same time, like within
minutes. Yeah, like within a couple minutes. It was like By the Dip said. I think I don't know who was first, to be honest. I'd have to go back on Discord and check, but both Vita G and By the Dip messaged me within minutes of each other and was like, hey, like, are you interested in doing some kind of a podcast type thing? And I was like, all right, this is good. Like,
yeah,
all these guys are, I knew you guys from Discord and I knew you guys were interesting. And I thought, you guys have different backgrounds that I appreciated. That I'm, like I said, I'm just a gamer. I play games. I'm a developer. I don't know anything about NFTs, and that's what I respected about these guys, is that they have more knowledge about me in the areas that I don't know anything about. And so I
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, yeah, let's get this going. So yeah.
we bring. Yep, I think we all bring our certain things. Man, that's amazing. Yeah, and I know, and I know Gonzaga. Like, I bet if anybody, and not don't everybody approach Gonzaga. He has limited time and he has to work on his podcast. But I have a feeling if anybody approaches you on any project that has to do with CA, like you're all in, like you're doing it. And so
Definitely.
even if you had like in this case, like you never did a damn podcast, but you learned how to set everything up, and you just started learning the format, and then you just started doing it. Like you're just a fucking doer. So, and that's why we're here. All right. Same question. By the dip, why did you decide to do this podcast?
Well, I've always had an interest in communications. I do have my degree in business and a minor in communications. So, and I always watched Joe Rogan, always been a fan. I love giving out. I mean, I just wanted to find a group, because I felt that you needed, like I said, expertise in certain areas and able to make content. So then I saw Bone Zone, and I was like, hey, man, this guy's onto something.
Yeah.
I said, and that's why I messaged him, hey, bro, I like your content. I said, would you like doing a podcast, and we could find other people and try and make this thing grow. And then it just took off from there. And I've always wanted a podcast. Always been a fan of certain podcasts that I follow, like Joe Rogan, the Pat McAfee show. So yeah, it's just always been an interest of mine, and I wanted to contribute into the community.
Right. Yeah, I like me some Joe Rogan, man. I've not caught up with his latest episodes, but he does his thing. Nice. I like it. Vita G. Same question. Why did you decide to do this podcast?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be kind of the bridge between Gonzaga and By the Dip. I think By the Dip was the first one to message you, because I distinctly remember I messaged you and you're like, oh, By the Dip just reached out to me. So I was the second. I'm the awkward fifth wheel here. It's fine. Know where you are. But I've always entertained the idea of doing a podcast. Like I listen to a lot of them. I think they're really interesting. Again, like back to that kind of frontier mindset, it was like, we have an opportunity here to have something new where we know we have an audience because we have these people who are investing in this project, and we have a very hungry audience, right? And so it just seemed like it was a great choice. And I think a lot of people in my real life would laugh in my face if they heard that I was doing more creative stuff, like trying to do voiceovers and drawing, and because that's not really how people know me.
Because you're a buttoned up government worker, man.
That's right, why. Dude. I'm stiff. I'm stiff as drywall, dude. It's I keep it pretty light, but
I know.
But it has been interesting, right? It's a great creative environment where I can challenge myself to do things that aren't necessarily where I tend to spend my time, or ways that I think of myself being I'm not super proficient at drawing, but I try to help out, my guild with some drawings, or, in the Discord, or, whatever that looks like. So great creative outlet, and I was loving it.
Bro, nice. You're a team player. You wanted to do a podcast. I dig it. Yeah. And Vita's the man. He's actually in real life, he's very humble, too humble. We need Vita for this, so don't go being too humble. You're a big part of this. And you are a big team player. Again, all the voiceover, all the cool shit, that's all Vita that we have here. And it's just us five that run the whole podcast, even when it comes to sharing on social media and doing everything, right? So it's just us. Z Mackin, why did you decide to do this podcast?
This is definitely very different for me. I am quite antisocial normally, and Champions Ascension kind of, and the whole NFT space kind of has been slowly breaking me out of that. I never had Twitter. I don't have any kind of other social media, anything like that. Up until I got Discord, got in the Discord server and found the community of Champions Ascension and one other project that I'm in, and they've kind of been cracking open the nut for me slowly but surely. And so, Gonzaga was always putting out the Bone Zone stuff, and I thought that was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We just clicked, and I thought he put out really good content. And when everything went together, we chopped it up, and I enjoyed doing it. Right. So, like I said, this is outside of my comfort zone for me, doing this type of stuff. And I figured, if there's any space that I'm gonna start doing it in, might as well be in the NFT space about something that I love, which is gaming, about a project that I'm deeply invested and interested in. And it's been awesome getting here
Mm-hmm.
and chopping it up with you guys and just doing the things. But it's funny because about 2 weeks before, I had something on my phone, and I was showing the nephew and his friend, and he's like, "Bro, you should make a podcast." He's like, something about your voice. He's like, "I could just listen to it all day." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." And then, like,
Uh-huh.
literally 2 weeks later, we're doing our episode 0 of our podcast, right? So it was like, to me, it's almost like it was fate.
Nice.
So,
Bro, that's amazing. It's hard to imagine you being antisocial because you always got like a lot of these takes and perspectives on things. People got to hear that shit, man. Good thing you're here. If you ain't talking to nobody, nobody's gonna hear it. So good. I'm happy we are amplifying the voice of ZMAC and over here. With me, I think a lot. Look, I'm brand new to Discord. I'm in Discord because I'm in crypto and I'm in NFT and I'm in Champions Ascension. That brought me to Discord. I'm only in like 2 Discords. Champion Ascension is one of them. I'm brand new to Discord. And y'all, you probably notice I'm not in Discord as much as a lot of people because it's hard for me to keep up with that shit, right? Like the reading and responding and writing and replying to people and using GIFs and all that. Like that's just not what I do. I talk to people. Like that's what I do. I like talking to people one-on-one. I like expressing myself verbally. And I'm like, there's really no real place to do that in the Discord. Right? We can listen to AMAs and do shit like that. So actually, I just started. Actually, I seen Gonzaga's. I'll say so. That's one part of it, right? I like talking. That's how I communicate. Not reading and writing and all that. I like talking and building with people that way. The other thing is, I got so into CA and play to earn and all that stuff. Like I had to fucking talk about it. And I tried to do a YouTube like Gonzaga. I can't. I never had a YouTube neither. For one, I didn't know how to make it look good. For 2, I can't fucking talk to myself for like 15, 20, 30. I can't just talk with nobody there. So I'm like, I need to have a podcast with the other fucking DJs, people that are in this space, so I could talk to them about it every week. And I just knew like we're gonna get into some cool shit where it might as well be a podcast. We might as well let other people listen in. So I'm like, let's do a damn podcast. I reached out to Gonzaga because he's already doing shit. So obviously he might want to do a podcast. I was glad when he said, yeah, he told me the same thing. Like, oh man, a lot of other people reached out to me about the same thing. Let's all get together. And he mentioned Buy the Dip's name. I'm like, I've been seeing Buy the Dip on the Discord, and he's just dropping so many fucking gems about the market, about when to buy, just about crypto and NFTs in general. I'm like, if Gonzaga can pull in Buy the Dip and whoever else he's talking to, we're going to have a fucking spectacular podcast. And that was it. We just started 10 weeks ago and we're still going. So I'm glad to be here with you boys. Last question. Let's make this a collective question, man. I swear to God, we're fucking 40 minutes in. I thought this was going to take 15 minutes. Last questions. We don't have to go through one by one. This is a collective question for all of us. So chime in whenever you're ready. What is the future of you and the Prime Minds podcast? That's for everybody.
Dude, streaming live from the moon room. I'm claiming that first.
Yes. We talked about that last week.
I'm in it, man. I love it.
I honestly, I see us as being one of the biggest podcasts in the NFT space.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
We're gonna be calling fights from the arena, boys. What are you talking about? Moon room is not the end.
I didn't say the end. I just said it was in there.
I think the near term.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I I'm just going with it. And one thing that I would like to say is that, if anyone listening, if you guys have ideas, or if you are part of a community or know a community that would like to get on here, like we're trying to grow out our brand, and we're not really getting very much help from CA, even though this is about Champions Ascension. And so we reached out, kind of got a hard no. And so we're doing this ourselves. And if you
Ooh,
guys
I
know
love.
anyone,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll finish.
no, yeah.
I love the transparency, but go ahead. Keep
Yeah,
going.
Web3, but
Right.
anyway, so yeah, so if you know anyone, or if you have any ideas, let us know, either, on Twitter, Discord, and, we'll consider it, and maybe we'll go with it. So we're trying to grow our brand. So
Second that.
If you're an
second that.
influencer out there and can help us pump our prime minds, let us know.
Let us know. And you know what? I see us too. I see us. I love CA. CA is my first. I was into NFTs before this, a little bit here and there. I didn't spend too much on it. CA is the first project I kind of aped into with some, right? My ape in my scale, not no real ape or nothing. But I see us like talking more about Web3, other projects, getting into other things, comparing, contrasting other NFT projects, in probably the near future. I also see us for sure consistently bringing this content, right? We've seen that Z Mackin, he had a day off a couple weeks ago, and that's fine. There's fucking 5 of us. I might have a day off, and Vita will be the host, or it doesn't even have to be a host. It's just collective effort. But I see us coming every week, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and just consistently talking about what's going on in crypto and NFT land. So I see that happening. We have our Twitter too. So shout out. And I think what Benzanga was saying is like, if you all want to help us grow, if there's any like social media experts out there, or people that, have content or things for us to do, or ideas for us to grow, like we're all ears. But we have our Twitter. So follow us, man. Does Prime follow Prime? Does that still work? Twitter, Prime Minds Pod. Give us a follow. We're going to start doing Twitter spaces, even like just, not scheduled, but just pop in on Twitter, talk some shit, catch up. So that'll be fun too. But yeah, if anything, I just see us just getting together and talking every week. We don't have any big business plans. We don't have any roadmap. I think we're going to have some merch coming out soon. Some, Prime Minds t-shirts and hoodies. We're all Prime Minds, so definitely support that way. But I think even if we don't sell one fucking t-shirt or monetize in any way, I think we're still going to come at you every single weekend. That doesn't mean don't fucking buy it. You should support, but we'll be here either way. There's no, and Bunzag even let y'all know a little bit. It's like we're not getting a lot of support from the main CA game that we talk about. But I'll be honest with you, we don't really need it to keep moving forward, right? That's not why we're doing it. It's amazing that they jump on this podcast to get interviewed, but that's not like a requirement for us to do this podcast. We're gonna come at you every Saturday, no matter what.
Oh yeah, and I do want to say thank you to all the Jam City and Champions Ascensions people who have come on our podcast. We do appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, definitely. 100% bullish about the project. The project itself is amazing, and especially that the leak we got, that video, the difference between last week and this week, it's astounding. So
yeah, let me
bullish about the project.
A little bit of perspective on that, and I think we talked about this a little bit internally too. Is like we've seen other projects and the way they support, but I think these are like native Web3 projects, right? And that's fine. One of them is is it called the Plague with the frogs, the army of frogs? I've seen their creator. He was talking about, hey, like getting his community to go, and they all support each other. The dev support, like they don't even have a podcast, but I think if they did, it would have been blown up by now, right? And they're just all in there supporting, giving encouragement for every project they have to do with that. And I guess that goes a couple of ways, right? It's like, and we're about to transition in a second here, but the project, this CA Champions Ascension project, I think they're big in not really knowing that they don't need like the community hype and involvement and all that to make a great project. And that's fine. I think that's why we're here. But when you see other projects and the way that they do have community, the way they do build like quote unquote hype, I think that's an amazing thing too. And I think that's something that that we can do better in over here. But anyway, not to get too far off track. Do we want to get to our next segment? We have a new segment coming up. The
I think we can
Rebirted
launch
News
right into it.
Network. RNN, Rebirted News Network. We have breaking news, we have headlines from the week, and let's give the report out.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think just a little background on this is we did want to just highlight different things that are happening in the community. We want this to be a community-facing and for the community podcast. So just a little bit of background, but without further ado, I'm going to try and get my news anchor voice on, and Gonzaga and I are going to switch off here. We're playing co-host to co-hosts. So this week on the Rebirden News Network, for the ARG, the Prime Syndicate took first place with Maestros Dulit, Pierre, Blub, Arkham, LT, and Lamas coming in first. They are now engaged in a lore-based event that will decide the fate of some characters.
All right, I'm not going to be as good as Avita G, but all right. So P-Ray hosted a Prime Properties event where they, I think CA gave out 1 ETH, and the winner was Blitz.
0.1.
0.1. No one. And it's good that Gonzaga didn't get this one because then it would look a little bit awkward. So this worked out. Our man Gonzaga actually hosted his own technical puzzle after the ARG. We had so much fun. Do want to give a shout out to the folks who were involved with that. That was an awesome event. We did have a winner, Dodoria. They won 0.1 ETH from Gonzaga himself.
Shout out to Doria.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I had fun setting that up. And all right, so next up, community manager Squiddy announced that I think it was Ether or not that announced it, but there's no AMA, and the next one is to be determined.
Okay.
We'll wait for news when it happens. Now we're getting to some guild-specific stuff. Dulit of the Prime Syndicate kind of called a... how do I want to phrase this? He mentioned that we shouldn't be voting on the things that Champions Ascension has not actually built yet, particularly for the awards for NFT New York. There was some concern that we were, kind of conflating the data for things that were not yet built.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the wardens. So let's see, KG mentioned this to me, that they're undergoing their Elder Warden candidacy to decide the 7 leaders to represent their house in the Elder Warden Council. So I guess what they're doing is they're voting on different people to represent the different houses within their guild.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That means they got over 100. Go ahead.
Over 100 what now?
I think they said in their recruiting that when they get over 100 members, they're going to start voting on who will represent the different houses.
Oh, nice. Very cool. On the part of Ash of the Pack, they're looking forward to the release of Diablo Immortal. Hey, another great franchise right there. Love that.
Yeah. What's interesting is when he told me that, I looked it up and I actually had beta access and I didn't even realize.
Nice.
Damn it. I could have been playing this. Anyway.
What is... Time out. Let's stay there. What is Diablo Immortal? Game?
I guess apparently they're going to mobile. They have like some kind of a mobile version of their game. So
is it play to earn or is just a
game? I think it's just a game.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, and also Cody's on his third. What do you call it? I can't remember. What is it when you where you go when you're married? Honeymoon. Third honeymoon. He's on his third honeymoon.
Hi, Cody.
I think it means his third anniversary. But yeah, shout out to Cody.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm like, is that his
honeymoon
third
every year?
Is that his third wife?
I mean, that's what you call it. I don't know. But yeah,
he's doing his thing, boys.
Congrats.
So yeah, so new lore puzzle. Oh, sorry, that's yours.
No, that one's yours. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I did Ash. I got the last
Oh,
one.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, apparently, they announced in the lore that or on Discord that there's some kind of a puzzle coming up tomorrow, which is Sunday, and some people are gonna, or two people are gonna earn some ETH. They didn't really give an amount though, so.
Some ETH is better than no ETH.
Right.
And for our final news of the day, a familiar whale has been sighted once again. Zintos has been flying up the floor like a crazy person. Our floor is actually very high now. And actually, thankfully, that launches us right into our next segment.
Our next segment.
Yes.
You know, I looked. Thanks, guys. Like, actually, reflections on any of that, because that's that was all this past week. I think a lot of breaking news. I'm glad we had that segment. Took reflections. I think some of those contests, and I think we forgot about Vita G's. Vita G put on an amazing contest he announced last week. Vita, without the without the headlines to support you, how's that contest going? Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, contest is going really well. So submissions got cut off just about an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
And so I think I ended up, I haven't run the full numbers yet. It has been a crazy week for me. But I think I had about 25 people who had submissions in. You know, it was oh, thank you.
The headline. Boom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I spaced it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
No,
man.
good, man. We had a lot
worried.
going on this week. That's
yeah.
fine.
It's been good, man. I think, you know, for the people that interacted, there were people who really wanted to talk about it. And I think that's awesome. Like, that stuff we need more in the community is like what's actually important to folks, even though it might not be directly Champions Ascension, but like what's on people's hearts and minds right now. And I think fear, especially with this, market downturn was definitely on people's minds. So got to talk to people about, drug addiction and financial stuff, and I mean, it was it got all sorts of submissions. So it was a pretty interesting and fun week for me, getting to interact with people on that.
And blessings, bro, for you and all the folks that entered. And you're giving away a Prime Eternal, a punk. I think we're naming him the Punk Rock Prime, like that. I think that's his name.
That's right.
Punk Rock Prime, man. He's going to be famous. I'm sure that's the first PE giveaway contest. So good. You're going down in history.
Bring it on.
Let's tap our friend Ryder Ryan about the lore. Let him know it's the first Prime Eternal giveaway. So yeah, and then I think we got no. Let's talk. This is a long fucking podcast, so fuck it. We're gonna go a little bit slow. And then there's other contests like Gonzaga. You gave away 0.1 ETH. Because I was trying to follow your scavenger hunt and your clues, and my brain don't fucking work that way. I got different I have different gifts. Following the scavenger hunt, these clues that you did, and we did get a winner. Talk about that, and talk about. I guess you can talk about the answer now and like what your rationale was in building that out.
Yeah, so I was basically inspired by both the ARG and P-Ray. I thought it was fun. They gave away a little bit of ETH.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought, fuck it. Like I have a little bit. So every payday, my wife and I split up. We have like our own accounts, and then we have like our family account. And so I have like a little bit of spending limit or whatever. And so I thought, hey, I want to do something fun and contribute to the community, get this, kind of keep the hype alive and stuff like that. And I thought the ARG was fun. And so, yeah, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make something interesting that people can try to solve. And to me, it was, I guess, coming from the perspective of a programmer, and, I was into JavaScript and stuff like that. Like, that was my first language. And so it seemed fairly obvious, and I tried to make it not too difficult. And apparently, a lot of people don't think the same way as I do. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We dropped some clues, and Blitz, honestly, like Blitz was there on the last screen, and he almost got it. And I was like, yeah, you've got to interact with it in a certain way. And then Dodora just, was lucky enough to hover over the image and found the final clue.
There was an answer in there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, yeah. I still don't get it, but congrats to Dioria. and all the people that played that. And then, the P-Ray game, that was a fun fucking game, man. I was a little bit late, but what they did was they showed the image of the Prime, and then you had to look up as many features as you can notice, and you had to look up what Prime it was and give the exact number, and then they kept score from 0 to 10. I hear someone in the background, just so y'all know. But yeah, that was a fun game. I was slow. We had some very quick draw McGraws on the case. I had my phone out looking up on OpenSea. I had the Discord up on my computer, and I was still too slow. I got a couple of right answers, but some people got the answers before me. And then that CA gave away 0.1 ETH. That was a fun game. I'd like to play that again.
Yeah, I was there too. That was a lot of fun. And what's interesting is I first went to the Codex, and I thought, oh, I'm going to use this the thing that V2G made to look up the properties. And I didn't realize you could filter by certain things. And so then I went to the OpenSea and realized that I need to use OpenSea instead. But it's kind of interesting though that the Codex was the first place I went to, and that's honestly during the ARG. That's where I went to for a lot of that, for the lore related things, was because they have all the lore there, and it's interesting because I don't know if they changed. So part of the ARG was that final clue that V2G found was the passphrase of what was the response. And I don't think they changed that on the Codex, but they changed it in Medium, and so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was not playing along with that at all. Okay, what are you guys thinking? Any other thoughts?
I really think we should touch on floor price and
let's go there, man. That was the ads. That was part of the breaking news. So, I think our floor was up a couple days ago, or yesterday, or Thursday. Every time a whale comes swimming around, and I picture it like a whale just taking a big ass bite of a school of fish. It's like the whole floor just rises up. So we were almost at like 0.5 earlier this week, a few days ago. I think we came back down to like 0.35, which is okay. But yeah, and Dip, you said something about, follow the money, look at what the whales are doing, look what the market makers are doing. I think that shows you a lot. So what do you think about, our floor price, NFT market, all these things?
I think our floor price is doing pretty well compared to the market. Like I said, guys, we're in a downturn. You see ETH right now, it's consolidating, but it's consolidating down. So I have a range that 900 to 1300 ETH. It's gonna be a rough summer. It's gonna be a rough winter.
Wow.
Oh, like that's what I'm saying. Like Zintos, and if you're hearing this, I'm very intrigued because over $300,000 is a lot of confidence. Now I say when someone slaps the table like that, there's a reason why, right? Because over $300,000, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but you must and you have to, do your analyzations. Is this a smart investment? I mean, if this guy is slapping the table, hey, something we don't, reach out to us, man, because it's interesting.
Shit, we could get our first whale on the podcast. I'd like to even have him on here and talk about what he's thinking about buying a floor, why he likes his project. Probably a lot of reasons why we like the project. But yeah, I think
Zintos. Come on, Zintos.
Come on, or whoever your spokesperson is. Do we know if Zintos is one whale or a guild or?
Apparently, well, I've heard that he represents a guild of like, a lot of members, and he's buying all these primes to sell to his guild. But we don't know for sure. I haven't talked to him personally, so.
Well, that Zintos is just
get
the
him
most
on.
recent whale too, right? When we minted out through the Dutch auction, we had someone pick up 450 primes right off the get-go, right?
I remember
so
that.
And that's, who knows what they got their ETH for at that point in time, but I know around mint time, ETH was right around like 27 to 2,900. And if they're picking up 450, let's say an average price, they probably, because they bought throughout the Dutch auction, if they're paying like 0.45, even down to like 0.4, you're talking that wallet invested between $450 and $550,000 right off the bat.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are they still around? Where's that well at? Which one was that? Are they still holding?
I
Yeah,
haven't
they're still
tracked that
holding.
one recently, but yeah, that would. Yeah. Their no life is cool. That's for sure.
They are still holding, right? And
Yeah,
then
no,
Life is Cool is one of the whales that are making an exit, kind of. But go more, yeah. By
Yeah.
dip, go ahead.
I mean, it's kind of you see, Life is Cool started selling a lot, right? He started at 5. I think he's down to 13, guys. He sold a lot, and the ones that he's holding are like the good ones, 3D, 3P. You know, he's
Awesome.
holding
Okay.
valuable ones up there. And at the same time, it was weird. He started selling. You saw Zinto start buying big.
Yeah,
So
like at the same time.
yeah, so you try to speculate and think, well, shit, like, are they connected? And this is just pure speculation, right? Because when you see that amount of money move, you always got to ask questions. Why?
Something's going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be
one
timing,
question
right?
I'm always asking myself is why is it always 200-ish? Like the floor rises, it drops below 200. Like there's like 180 for sale, and suddenly, I mean, apparently I'm in the wrong. I'm have the wrong perspective. I just buy and hold, and I haven't ever tried to flip or anything. But I think that people are like they're buying the dip. They're like selling high, buying low, and maybe I should be doing that too, but I haven't been.
I have the same strategy as you, B. It's like I try to buy for a good price and just kind of live with it, and hold on to it. Um, there's some really good, even people in the Prime Syndicate Guild. I know because we're in there talking, but I see them really getting some amazing deals. Buying and flipping, making some ETH. I'm like, damn, that's a good way to get along in this space. But I just go the easy route, man. I'm a little bit lazy with that. I just try to get some pretty good deals, some pretty good, primes that are pretty valuable for a good price. Just knowing the market, knowing where the valuable primes are, knowing how they should be priced, and then I'm happy with my purchase and I just hold them, right? Especially because the game's not out yet. I want to see really what the real potential of it is. So,
And
so yeah, I'm holding.
yeah, people got to start realizing too is we're giving, like, this guy's coming up on 400 primes, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
over 400 primes. So you really got to start thinking about, hey man, like, everybody's in a different situation. I buy and I hold and I'm not selling because I always follow the money. In the stock market, you follow the money, you're going to get paid, right? Follow the
Mm-hmm.
money. This guy is buying and he keeps buying and buying and buying and you keep selling and selling and selling. He's buying your sales, right?
Right.
Him more
Right.
advanced in the
It's
game.
just like no, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, we're giving him
Mm-hmm.
more advanced in the game, and in reality, right? I mean, this game is going to be making money, and this right now, this guy's on the right track. So I tell everybody, if you're trying to flip more primes to buy more primes, that's cool. But there's a concern that you keep selling them, you're just giving this guy more power, and I mean more power to him, because like I said, he's definitely bullish on this game. We just gotta look for the
Right.
future, because this game comes out, the economy comes out, it's gonna be like Game of Thrones. One's gonna rule them all, and
That's how it goes, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
so
how.
you might be making your 0.1 or 0.2 ETH or something, or 0.0, 0.01 on your sale, like your flips. But what you're saying is that we need to be looking at the bigger picture and thinking that we might be giving this guy too much power by selling him our primes that we should be holding.
yes, and he's not just getting the floor, he's getting some 3Ds, he's getting some,
Damn.
and those are very rare now. You rarely see, like, I look on the 3Ds, there's like there's one 4D for sale, one, and it's so high, shout out to Dr. Vox, because I think he has that beauty. But other than that, man, the divines are getting swept up quick, guys. So, like, just look at that trend, follow the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Where yeah, you could be giving up a lot, especially in the downturn. And what I think we still need this disclaimer, but you all know this is never financial advice, not financial advice. But especially in the downturn, when whales are looking at,
Prime to remind you that this information is not financial advice and is purely educational.
yes, and entertainment. So is this the time to sell when the market is down? When the primes are down? It's like it might not be. And of course, like Dip said, everybody has different situations. If you have to sell, you just have to sell. God bless you. But the other thing to that though is there will always be some for sale. I think that the whales are getting it very cheap still. Actually getting it cheaper than when we first came in, because just looking at this again, we're at 0.349, which is a little bit under mint, right? Or like right over a little bit over the whitelist price, but we're still a little bit under mint. So it's still a very good time to get in. And
Especially
not a great
considering
time to
ETH is
sell.
down $1,000 compared to when we minted, right?
Right. So it's time to buy low. And then to Dip put this on our radar, there's new investments right now, that are going into the crypto market. Anderson Horowitz, who's a legendary investor, him and his firm or whatever he has, investment firm, has put $4.5 billion in new investments into crypto in the down market. And like I said before, when our first episode, Buy the Dip's name is Buy the Dip. Like, this is what smart people do. They buy when the price is its best price for the time to buy. And then if they're going to sell at a much higher price. But new investments are going into crypto right now because it's kind of a historic time, especially if ETH goes low under $1,000. That's like I don't know how many more times you're going to see that.
Right.
ETH drop over $1,000 in our lifetime.
I always say, like I said, we're heading into a recession, whether we like it or not, for the next 15 to 18 months, and that's what I feel. That's the time. That's for the time to people to really build their wealth, is in recession. So guys, don't look at it as a bad time. Look at it as an opportunity. Invest into things that are going to be able to survive. And I know a lot of people, man, ape into a lot of these projects, but you just got to look at it from a business point. You put money into an NFT, that NFT project is using that money to grow or to build sustainability. So you're an investor. Anytime you make an investment to anybody, they have to have a solid game plan. They have to have a back record of being able to scale big, right? Because at the end of the day, your NFT, the only way your NFT is going to moon is if that project builds sustainability. Yes, it can moon off hype, but hype is not going to keep that price there forever. Some point in time, you're going to need to scale big. You're going to need to know how to scale big. Like I said, it's different from. I gave a perfect example for my wife. Like say she sells 4 or 5 purses a day, but then the demand goes around. She needs to sell 100 purses a day. It's that much harder to scale big if you've never scaled big. You have to find manufacturers. You have to the cost of shipping that eats into it, right? The cost of always eats into stuff. Gonzaga went into deep, right? Like Gonzaga's like, well, it's just not a game developer, right? Like you have these NFT projects that have never ever fucking made a game in their life, and they're over here putting out a game. Well, there's a lot that goes with that, right? Gonzaga, there's hundreds and hundreds of different. There's graphic designers, there's game designers, there's devs, right? There's economists, everything that Jam City has, right? Because Jam City says they have their own analyst for the economy. They have the team to scale big like that.
And it's not just one studio. That's what's got me kind of excited, is that they have multiple studios around the world, and they have at least, I think, 3 to 4 that we know of. And if we're talking about a studio, that's like hundreds of people,
right?
That can work on this. They're pulling from expertise from everybody.
Hundreds of people are working on this project.
And then back to the overall market, it's a dip like this will kill projects, right? It has killed projects, killed DeFi projects. Some of us are into. It's some NFT projects took the dip along with ETH, and nobody has any faith in those anymore. Like Dip said, our ETH and our floor price has been holding up, against this whole wide market dip because people see the value and the potential of this project.
Sorry, not to cut in, but I think Vita G mentioned that he has to cut out.
Vita, say your goodbyes, man. Sorry we took forever.
No, it's all good. I love the way this episode went. I just unfortunately have something I need to get off to. So just want to say thanks to everyone for joining us. I know that's it's a bit of a weird day on technical issues, and but we're gonna keep doing our thing. And big love to the Prime Minds and the community at large. I'll check in with you all next week.
All right,
See ya,
Vita.
Vita.
See you
Much
next week,
love,
Dr.
brother.
V.
Dr. V. Sounds like
Later
a
on, boys.
villain.
It does sound like a villain.
You know what? It's so funny. I have to do the same thing next week. Like I have like a hard cut after an hour. It's just so y'all know when we go long next week, someone will pick it up. We'll probably make Vita do it since he cut off early today. Yeah. Any other reflection, thoughts about the overall market? Of course, it's not financial advice. But I'm gonna tell you a quick story, something that hit my brain. I want to share this with folks, right? Because as you live, you learn. If you remember in 2020, and we all know what these gas prices are doing. In 2020, like the middle of the pandemic, 2021, I forgot exactly when, gas was about 80 cents, the fucking way it was in the 90s, right? 80s and 90s. It was like 80, 90 cents. I was smart enough back then, I swear to God, y'all, this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but I took 2 5-gallon gas cans to the gas station and I bought the fucking dip. I'm filling up these gas cans. I had 10 gallons of gas in my garage. I think I still have 5 gallons of 80 cents gas in my garage left from when the market was low. If I was thinking correctly in the right way, at that time when they couldn't fucking give gas away, they had these ships that couldn't find a place to dock and store the gasoline and the oil and whatever they need to make the gas. I should have bought fucking energy stocks. I should have bought the gas stocks. I should have fucking aped into that when they couldn't give the shit away. Because now, while everything's taking a dip, technology, everything else, gas and energy stocks are the only thing that's doing well. So just a little bit of perspective, a little bit of life learning. That's what I reflected on. As you live, you learn. Next time they can't give shit away, make sure it's something that has some value, right? But next time they can't fucking give it away, that's when I'm buying it.
Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to mention, reading that article that you guys brought up, was that they made a very valid point where when the market goes crazy like this and it dips hard, it takes away, it follows what Zero Cool mentioned a couple weeks ago, right? Where it takes away the distraction of market price and it gives people who are actually going to be creating something that has value the opportunity to be more focused on their work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it gives people who are going to be building great things the opportunity to focus on that building rather than focus on the marketing, because no one in a bear market, very few people want to buy, and you have no one to market to, right? So you have the opportunity to spend less on things that aren't essential to creating a good product, so that when the market does turn around, you can take that energy that you used for the creation and put it into the distribution side of things more. So
right.
This is definitely going to be a great time for people who have ideas to get out there and build them. And it's also a great time for people who have the capital available to ape into things that are great ideas before they have the opportunity to go out and market them and everybody knows about it.
And check this out too, man. The fact that we're here watching it play out and we can see projects that are dying at this point, the ones that don't die are the ones that have real value and staying power, right? So I'm be honest with you, like we're in CA right now, and if CA makes it through this, right, which okay, I hope they do, right? I'm not saying right, we got this damn podcast dedicated to CA. If and when they make it through this, then that shows you how good of a project it is, how resilient it is, and it just shows you that it's a product and something that people want that just has like real value. So we can see the things that emerge from this time, the next, like Dip said, probably 12 to 18 months, the next 1 year or 2 years, and the things that stay alive and emerge after this, it's just going to be an amazing bull run with the projects that are still around.
Yeah, and going into the summer too, guys. It's June through August are going to be some of the slowest time because people do not. Kids are out of school. People go on vacations. People aren't in the markets like that. So it is going to get slower, and it always does. It works like time clock. It gets slow in the summer. It's hard to make money in the summer, but that's where you find a lot of buying opportunities is going to be in the summer.
Well, and
Mm.
like I think it was Messina, Casa Messina mentioned it. Summertime, like developers have their heads down. That's the time that they're producing, mainly because they want to get things done before the holidays. But I mean, that's the time that most of the work gets done is during the summertime.
Yeah, Casamacina said that.
Mm-hmm.
And we seen I think we mentioned this last time. We seen Zero Cool say, "Hey, in times like this, what we're doing is building. You know, we got our heads down. We have a project. We're doing the work we have to do. In the good market and the bad market, like we're still building this project out." Um, let's get into that. We had some very good interviews with like just some amazing, brilliant people. You know, I think we got more than we bargained for. I did. It's like when I started this podcast, I didn't know that we're going to be interviewing presidents of billion-dollar corporations and creative people that's written for franchises like Star Wars and Game of Thrones. But shit, this past 2 weeks, that's exactly what we did. What were your major takeaways? I'm sorry, fucking Vita's not here, so we might have to do this again next week. But what were your major takeaways from the last couple of interviews we had? One with Johnny Cass and Messina, and the other with writer Ryan. What y'all think about that?
This Gonzaga. So for me, it's more. It's. I'm still digesting it, to be honest. I mean, there's so much stuff that it kind of solidified for me that this is something that isn't. It's not temporary. Like this is something that's going to be around for years. You know, and the fact that Casamessina said that, you know, this is going to be developed, you know, infinitely. They're not going to just say, okay, we released it, we're done. Like they're going to constantly be updating it, constantly be iterating, constantly be adding content. I mean, that means to me at least, you know, 10 years down the road. So it's going to be around for a while. And then with Ryder Ryan and just the passion, you know, it's like these guys, they're passionate about what they're doing. It's not just a job for them, and that's what's really inspiring to me. So
I love that part where Ryan said like he wouldn't. He didn't say this exactly right. I'm paraphrasing, but he wouldn't be in a project where there's no story to the game, where there's no storyline, and it's not fun to play. Right, you're not, where the player is not totally invested in the outcome. Pretty much, I think that was a question you asked Gonzaga when you were asking. You know, will it just be like laborious? You know, like you're actually having a job inside of Web3. He was like, no, absolutely not. There's going to be a reason for the missions and for all this stuff. So it's going to be a fun game, a fun play to earn game, which I don't think we've seen yet. Right. So that got me even extra bullish about this project.
Well, yeah, just kind of expounding upon what Gonzaga said with the multiple year game, right? Like, there's a game. It's not a play to earn game at all, but it's a game that I play. Both my kids actually enjoy playing too. Called Genshin Impact, and it was released almost a year ago, with like one core area, and it's supposed to be like a whole world, right? And they've slowly, every month they put out an update, and it either releases more content for that area, or at this point, I think they're on the fourth area of the world that they've slowly released. And there's going to be even more areas that they release as they continue going on. And it's like you can see them putting out new content every month, but then they're also expanding the world, and you have to play. You have to play the game to be able to access these new parts of the world. Like I've been slacking, and my kids keep asking me, "Oh, Dad, have you reached this new place yet? Have you reached this new place yet?" And I'm like, I haven't yet. So like they know way more about the game than I do because they've played more and it opened up more areas. So like I'm looking forward to that with Champions Ascension, and with them just releasing a world map this week. That showed all the different areas. Like I'm expecting them to do probably something similar, where as they keep developing, they're going to release the core city of Messina for us, where we have our land map and all around the Colosseum. But they've also talked in the lore about how once they've released all of the the world of Messina, how they have, like the series are all from a different dimension or a different world, and they're just talking about Hela and the new lore today, right? Like, so they have a lot of content that they've
Dude.
already started developing to be able to slowly release and push out over
Oh man,
years.
if you haven't read the new lore, you don't even know.
I
Is
haven't
it
yet,
good?
no.
Another level?
Man, I don't want to spoil anything, but like what? So to me, it made me realize like there's infinite possibilities out there of what they're going to be doing. It's pretty awesome.
Shout out to
Exciting.
writer Ryan, and I know he said like it's almost like choose your adventure books, like they're doing now. It's like he wants the community to vote on what's going on with the lore, and I'm not even caught up yet all the way. But
Yeah,
yeah,
actually, it
really
was
bringing the community in.
it was Troy Whitlock was the author of this last one, but it's like a whole new world. Like honestly,
Nice.
like we haven't seen anything yet.
Dip, you're
So, yeah.
chiming in
Oh,
earlier.
yeah. What really popped out, guys, like, because I just listen. It's kind of like that selective hearing. I hear some shit, and then I hear some shit that I want to hear. But
Yeah.
Messina, Castle Messina, he kind of threw it out there. He didn't give too much details, but he says, as far as branding, like, and he says he wasn't going to go any more into it, but we would get a little piece of that pie too, which is I find is interesting, right? Because if you have so much of this game that people want to be a part, you're going to get brands, right? We've seen it with we see what is it? I don't know if it's Roblox or what's the other one that
Sandbox, Roblox.
Sandbox. People advertise on Sandbox all the time.
Yeah.
Something that's interesting to me, man, because not only are they trying to find revenue within the game, but they're trying to get branding too, which is, I'm bullish on that, man.
Like other aspects, ways that they want to build brands. Yeah, Casa Messina and writer Ryan said they're looking into like graphic novels or comic books, short stories, things like that. Shit, maybe even like some type of feature cartoon animation. Like they didn't say that part, but I'm thinking like how much of this story and lore can they build out? Which I think they can because
like a
they
franchise.
already have people, like a whole franchise, and they already have a community that's backing them, early adopters before all the lore is even out. And we know the lore is amazing. It's great. I'm still catching up, right? It's a little secret. Like I'm not all the way caught up yet, but everything I've read is fucking amazing. Where they can really build out some stories and a whole franchise, fucking action figures. Like I think there's no limit to what they can do, with this whole project.
Well, that's the thing too, is they have people that are on their creative team who've done that before for well-established brands, right? Like writer Ryan himself even said that he used to write lore for the Star Wars stories. Like obviously, I don't know if he's written anything for any of the movies that have come out recently, but like Star Wars has been a name brand. Like, can you tell me anything that Star Wars hasn't branded yet? Right?
Yeah.
Like maybe an energy drink or something like that. I don't see any Han Solo shots out there, but
no, they do what makes sense, right? Action figures, stories, video games, like of course the movies, but yeah, they do what makes sense. Yeah, I like the idea. I like where they're headed. If you have a good game, you might as well capitalize on it. If you have good lore, you might as well capitalize on it. So I'm digging it.
The only thing that I would like to see is, a little bit more. They say these Prime Minds are our Prime Mind or our Prime Eternals, right? Like the Prime Minds own our Prime Eternals, but they have also specifically said we don't have the same type of freedom with our NFTs as like the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs do. We can't go out there and commercialize them, which to me that would essentially mean that we're licensing these NFTs from Jam City. I would like to have or see them give us the ability to be able to go out and do our own thing. So say Gonzaga wanted to code something, and he's obviously great at doing skin layovers, where if he could, we could create our own type of
yeah, that's kind of interesting because like we actually ran into that, and shout out to LT. He has been like the artist and designer of this card game we're working on. And when we asked CA about using Champions Ascension lore and names and art and stuff like that, not direct art, but just art that LT could create based on the characters in the lore, and they basically gave us a pretty hard no, that no, like you can create a game inspired by CA, but it can't reference anything in CA. And so I think it would be more fun, it'd be more interesting as a developer, and I'm super bullish on this project to be able to use my NFT, my Karkadon. Why can't I make the Karkadon the king of the suit? But
Yeah.
apparently not allowed. So
I think we talked a little bit about that. I think that's maybe it's a give and a take, right? Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit like this, it's like if you're in a Web3 native project, a lot of the shit that they need to be successful is the community. I think community equals the hype, and they really want to put of the resources back into the community to kind of build the hype some more. So Gonzaga, if you were making a project like that with, just the PFP projects, right? Like the frogs, they would blow that shit up. Like it'll be so big, it'll be trending. It'll be trending on NFT Twitter, right? It'll be the hottest shit out.
I can't even tell you how many times I get approached by people on either Twitter or LinkedIn, just with NFT based companies or projects that want me to do something for them, and I just usually just nicely turn them down and tell them good luck.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I just don't understand. Like,
well,
there's
I think
so
that's
much.
the point I'm getting to. So
There's
let me finish
talent.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. But then I think the give and take though is the fact that this project itself, and I think we've talked about this a lot, but they don't really have to push the hype or the community to be successful, or at least they think they don't, or they're not building that part of it in. It's sort of like an afterthought, right? Where it's like, we have this product, which is the game. It's going to be fun. We have some of the best developers, in the world. I think, right? Some of the best story writers in the world that are in this industry that is successful. They expect to be successful like they have been in Web2 and other things. They expect to be successful without the community. So it's just like a nice to have for them instead of a priority, where what we're doing and what you can do would be one of the major things that other projects would need in order to grow their hype and like, grow their brand.
Yeah.
I kind of go ahead, Dip.
Yeah.
Oh, and man, like communication is everything. We're investors. You like I said, 76.22, right? At the time, ETH was at what, 2,700, right? Almost $3,000.
Yeah.
Sold 76.22 at an average, just say average 3.5. That's over $11 million. It's a lot of money that the community has contributed to this project. Now, from one stand, I think it's kind of insulting that you don't follow through what you're going to say. Like, for instance, there's supposed to be an AMA this week, right? Well, one, nothing was communicated. And then we get something that says to be determined because there's not enough stuff to put out. Like, my biggest thing is, would you do that to your real life investors? If say if we were big holders in Jam City and they were a public company, which I think they are, would you communicate with your investors that way? Of course not, because then your investors will dump your stock.
There's no shareholder meeting, so we might see y'all next week.
Yeah, and that's
right.
The thing. Just communication. And that's really all. This project is great. I mean, the developers are great. The writers are great. We know we're getting a great project. It's just the communication, right? You have a community engagement, someone in charge of community engagement, like, work on the community engagement.
Yeah. Because things have changed. Yeah. The roadmap's changed, but we don't know like when will it update, right? We're not asking like, give us the date we're going to stake when that, but when are we going to have some updates about what the changes are and what that's looking like at this point?
Yeah, and you can see, within the community, people want.
Yeah, the last AMA was April 15th. I've got it on my YouTube.
Yeah,
AMA.
we
Like,
were
what month is
promised.
this? Holy shit, we're in June.
Yeah, we're
Just
promised.
about, yeah. They were supposed to have, we were told originally staking by the end of April, right? Now we're a month later and still no update on when staking is even possibly going to be coming out. If they're going to be doing anything retroactive for people that were holding from mint, or if you held from a certain date or anything like that. So, like, just any kind of information, even if it's like, hey guys, we're still working on trying to determine the tokenomics because we have to go through all these, the regulatory stuff with them. I mentioned it before, looking like they're going to be doing their own exchange or becoming their own decentralized
crypto.
exchange, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to be hosting people's wallets for them. Like that is a lot, and people can understand that, but we have to know that, like, we're out here, we love doing speculation, but just because we love doing speculation doesn't mean we don't like to have actual concrete information.
Yeah, and my thing is that, just like you were saying, just follow through with what you say. It's like we had apparently, some of the guild leaders met with people from CA on Tuesday, and it's Saturday now, and I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any movement. I haven't seen any new thing. I mean, the lore and the content, the game side of things has been there, but the technical side of things, or the communication about the project, or about tokenomics, about pets, about the hoodies. I mean, come on.
Right. A lot of the perks from the mint, which was in the winter. Did you have anything else? I think you were going to add something there somewhere.
No. We're just looking, and I know CA listens. We're looking for that communication, and that's a big, right? If you're gonna say something, and one, you gotta think twice before saying it, because when you tell people you're gonna have an AMA and then tell it to be determined, that's slapping people in the face. Because as a man, a man is as good as his word, and if your word's not worth shit, people
or
aren't
woman. Just putting that out there. As a person.
And if you don't follow through on simple things like that, and if you don't communicate why, I mean, you have somebody else why, but we need to learn. We need to have that from whoever has that title of the community manager. Right? We need to have that communicated to us.
Yeah. Here's why there's no updates, because we're working to overcome this. We're working to overcome that. This is what we're thinking in terms of a new roadmap. It's not out yet, but we are thinking this season instead. Instead of early 2022, we can stake, that's pushed back to mid or late, right? And here's why. Here's what we need to overcome for that to happen. And here's what we've been working at. Like, that's what AMAs are for, or else there would be no AMA, right? It's like, they can tell us why, but they're choosing not to.
Well, they said that the information wasn't juicy enough. Like, who makes the determination of what information is relevant or not, right? The people that are consuming it, not the people that are trying to put it out. Like, it's better to share more information and let us decide if we determine if it's juicy or not. And if it's juicy, shit, we'll be talking about it on the next Prime Minds podcast, right?
Yeah. And then they can even if they don't have this role, they can have a spokesperson, that talks, that works with the devs and determines like what they can share and can't share, and then knows how to inform a community. Like, this is kind of what press conferences are for, like, have a spokesperson talk about what's going on, what's happening. If you can't share everything, don't share everything. But there's a lot of old questions we still haven't gotten answered as well. And I think you brought them up, like some of these perks, like what's happening right now with like, how are they thinking about in terms of land? And so I think I had this question a few weeks ago, and it's like a burning question that I have, and maybe the answer is there, I just have not figured it out yet. But a major question I have is, if you bought early and you get the land perks, is that the same as buying right now? Are you on the same, are you better off buying now because staking hasn't started and getting land perks as well as a person that minted in day one with the triple threat and the double trouble? Like, what's the difference? Like, what is that land perk? How is that different from people that are buying today? I don't think they have a clear answer for that.
No,
Do we have a clear answer for that?
no, they've pulled their press conferences seem to be held by Jen Psaki. They're gonna circle back around to that for you.
Let's not get political.
Yeah, it's just little details. Like, and you know, I love CA. This is honestly, like, anybody knows, I'm all in this shit. Like, the ship sinks, we're the band playing as the ship is sinking. And I said,
we're Jack, bro.
yeah,
We're in the fuck.
yeah.
Let me on the raft.
But I mean, you got to look at it from the perspective was you made over $11 million in the span of 36 hours. Now, that's pretty damn good, even though you're pre-funded. But you owe it. You owe it to your community to give them transparency. You owe it as professionals to hold yourself professionally and address your investors and let them know what's going on. Because when people are blind about things, people will panic, people will sell, people will FUD. It happens all the time. People understand it takes time. People understand the legalities. You know, there's a lot of bright people in our community, and they're not, you know, they're not stupid. They know what's going on, and that's why they're answering these questions. That's why I thought it's so important to bring it up, because our community is bringing it up. Our community is worried about this. Like, why do we have to speculate of being behind on the roadmap? Why can't that be communicated to us? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's. I mean, honestly, I think that's you're talking truth right now, because I personally, I'm 100% all in on this project. As soon as I have enough money saved up, I'm buying another Prime. You know, it's like that's just, you know.
Yeah.
So 100% faith in the project, 100% faith in the writers, the lore, the technology. It's all there. It's just like you said, by the dip, the community. Like I feel what they're feeling. You know, it's like I don't personally feel it, but I feel what they are feeling. And it's just they want that transparency, they want that communication, they want in behind the scenes. You know, that's what Web3 is supposed to be about. And so
Yeah, that's the part, is like you can't completely take the community for granted, because what happens is exactly what Dip said earlier, is people will start selling for low because they end up not having faith in the project, and that by itself can tank the game. The fewer and fewer holders that we have is actually not good for the game, because the more people that sell and they get out and they sell all their primes, and then a well picks it up, or even me, like right, and in me, I'm running up the score, right, with, you know, I get to 12, I get to 15, whatever, right, that's what I want to do, but it's still not good for the overall game that there's fewer people into it, and not good for the overall economy that there's fewer people into it. So we need more people at this point, right? And if you're looking at OpenSea, and that was something I looked on earlier, like how many holders do we have right now? And that's something I follow that when it comes to projects too, is how many holders are in the project. 2.3 thousand holders right now. I think at Mint there was like 2.8 or 2.9 thousand. So we lost about 500 holders.
Yeah.
Right? That's not good.
No,
I would like to add
20% of your population's disappeared already. So it's like, how much more do you need to drive off till you realize that something's going on?
Right.
And it's unhealthy for the actual game that hasn't even come out yet, right?
Right. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of going under 2,000 if they keep this up.
Yeah.
We need to grow the holders.
Let's make it clear to the devs. We love you guys. Like, you guys are amazing. Johnny, you and the crew. I have.
Hell yeah.
I fucking have everything good about you guys. You guys are fucking wonderful, right? Just the communication, marketing. If you're listening to this, take this into some context, because we're telling you what the vibes of the community are. We're telling you some things that need to be addressed, you know, and respect for everybody, because look at the Wardens, the Prime Syndicate, the Pact. These guys are running these guilds, are keeping this group together, and they're doing it for free. They're doing it because they care about this project enough to do it for free. Now, time is money. Everybody knows that time is money. So these people have contributed a lot of their time to this. So yes, it is owed. It is owed to the community for transparency. It's something that it should really bother somebody to when you say to when you promise something and then you turn it to be determined, right? That's not respecting your community
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Tell us why. At least give us at least give us a Medium article. All right, guys. Look, we fought it a little bit there, but that's all right. We went down a little rabbit hole. But it's we have to be honest, right? We have to tell it like it is, right? Where overall we're bullish. We think it's a great project. And I think it's the same thing. It's the recurring issue is just communication. What else y'all got? I think this is our marathon episode. This is fucking amazing. I like these long episodes. What else we got?
I just want to say that I went out and I believe in this project 100%. I went out and bought another Prime last week after I said I was thinking about it.
Oh shit!
Got my. It's
Oh,
only number
look, three
for me. I'm no whale.
Time out, man. Look, we're about to go. No, keep going. But we're about to go into the next segment. I think we have a candidate for our prime time.
If we could get him.
What do y'all think? Do we have a candidate for prime time? If you know a number. So hold on. Pause that. What else we got on this? What we're talking about here. Well, go ahead. Look, I'm fucking up right now. Hour and 40 in. Go ahead. You bought another prime. Go ahead.
I got my Prime number 3, and I mean, if anything, that just shows how bullish we are. Like, I'm not out there investing tons of money in anything. I'm not out there playing the market. I'm out here doing my DJing stuff and slowly getting into smaller projects that have.
I see you got some $10 NFTs. I see you on Twitter, Pineapple. You got some $10
NFTs
over there.
I got some buddies yesterday that paid $10 in gas for 5 NFTs, and because the free mint meta has been doing really good lately. Look at those ugly ass Goblin Town things, but with a 2 ETH floor, and that stuff makes absolutely no sense to me. But sometimes you just got to roll the dice and see what comes up. Maybe I'll get some snake eyes. Maybe I'll get sevens.
Yeah. But this is your project, though. Is what you're saying is like you even invested some real ETH into another prime, and this is what you're loving. Same here. Like I seen there was a big dip a few weeks ago, and I bought like maybe hopefully, which is the lowest dip that CA will experience. I think I bought at like, was it 2.27? Something like that. It went down to 0.25. Dang. Yeah.
I got to save up for those kind of things. I honestly, like I said, as soon as I have enough, I'm buying one. Actually, I need to be more smart about it.
Did we lose somebody? We did. We lost Z-Mackin. But yeah, even my my avatar. I used my avatar was my floor prime. Actually, the first floor prime I bought. I'm usually very picky. I needed an Ilgra, and I just saw that dip, so I could not resist it. I'm just put it right in and grabbed at like 0.27, something like that.
Nice.
But yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought one below 0.3.
No, it was I had
the mid price. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my cheapest one at 0.4. So I mean, 0.27 is killer.
Yeah, that was when like it was like fucking maximum FUD in the NFT and crypto space. I'm like, that's when it's time to buy. The shark came out. But let's do it, man. Do we have the primetime segment? Fuck it. Let's keep going, bro. Like if you have something to do, you could push pause and join us again later. Like however you want to do it, but I'm here. You want to go to primetime?
Yeah, we don't have a sponsor this time, so we'll just throw up the viewer.
Presenting our prime time. And
get rid of this one. There we go.
Prime time is when.
What number was it, Z-Mackin?
Oh, let me see. I think 1630 was the number. Let me double check really quick in my wallet.
Man, I only brought this up 10 minutes ago, Mac. Come on now. I'm joking.
1648.
1648. All right.
Prime time is when we give somebody a time to shine with their prime time. We zoom in, We talk about a prime. And Mac, I seen your announcement, man, when you picked it up. What is it? 1648?
Damn.
48.
3P, 1D.
Yeah,
Woo!
I picked this up from shout out to Arkham, man. He's all over the place, and he gave me he hooked it up for me. Bought from within the
Arkham
guild.
is one of those snipers I was talking about. Like I don't
Yeah,
want to put him on the spot, man, but if he wants to hop on here for a quick segment one day and talk about the way he does his fucking thing, he don't have to.
Yeah,
But
he's
he is a
always
fucking
sniping.
legend in my eyes.
Yeah,
yeah,
I like the GIF he always posts when he's
The sniper.
yep. When he
All
gets
we
camoed
won't
out.
go there, but yeah.
yeah. No, I like this. I mean, so I knew that because like I said, I have limited funds, so I knew the two families that I wanted to get were either going to be a Ceres or a Derolk, right? So I was looking for something. I didn't want to go floor. I wanted to get something that was actually going to hold some value. I'm not going to pick up a 0/0 prime, right? I want something that's going to be beneficial when we go into battling and when we go into breeding. So,
Arcane.
yeah, yep. I got two death houses already, so I figured I'd either go life or arcane. And
I like
um,
Arcane.
yeah, I mean
You
there
know,
was
We
it was
haven't heard a
between
whole lot about the Cirrus? How do you think you say
Ceres or
that?
Ceres. Yeah,
Cirrus?
the dragons. I mean the dragons are the only ones that I don't like out of these guys are the ones that have no horns. They just look strange. But this guy, he looked beautiful. It was
Got some
between him
wings.
and another life one, and this guy won out.
Do
So
you guys think we'll be able to fly? That's something I've always been wondering about.
You
Because I
know,
remember, like in World of Warcraft, like as you're leveling up, it sucks. You have to run everywhere. You finally get your mount, and then finally, when you're higher level, you're able to get a flying mount, and it changes the whole game. You're able
I
to
we'll see.
fly wherever you want.
at the
We'll see.
beginning.
I know Ice Toad said long time ago when they first released it, it's gonna just be instant transportation before they release the full world, right? So hopefully they don't take that aspect out of it, but that would be dope to be able to fly around as your prime. But again, we're getting into major
Mm,
speculation here because they talk about us being able to walk around mostly as our maestros, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then being able to walk around as our primes for either mini games or other missions or but they kind of alluded to the fact that most of the time we'll be walking around the world of Messina as our maestro.
Well,
So
Gotcha.
back in the day before Mint, they said you'd be able to distinct them because Eternals are the only ones to levitate. So
Mm,
you're gonna know, like, it's gonna be a big deal when you see an Eternal, right? They're the only ones that, like, even in the lore, the first lore, right? Remember the Karkadon, um, they
Darius and
Tari
Omar.
and Omar. Remember, as they were going into the arena, they seen one of the ascended Karkadons just floating in the fucking air,
And
and he
everybody's
float.
hushed and watched.
Everybody just
Yeah.
like, whoa, and looks at him. That's how it's gonna be.
That's
So,
gonna be you with your golden chains, huh?
yeah, bro.
Looking like Mr. T.
Looks like Mr. T, bro. Got all his jewelry from the battles, all his
chains
victory,
jangling in the wind.
belly hanging out, everything. Yeah, why not?
Well, that's like, do we have the image of the evolutions as you go through the separate stages? Because I mean, take a quick peek at that. I know when you look at that, the primes have wings and are flying, but I don't remember. Do the ascended champions, do they have wings too?
Hmm. Let me see if I can find
No,
that real quick.
the Grondel doesn't have wings. I think the Grondel and it was the Ilgra. They don't have wings. But from what I know is all Prime Eternals can float or levitate. Would you say?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
so you have a death. Your divine is still death. So you kind of is that like an homage to the death gang?
no, I didn't really. This was the one that was within my budget that I could swoop up, right? And it was
I'm back.
the 3P that sold me. I know, it didn't, the divine doesn't match, but when I'm looking at primes to scoop up, it's like what's the rarity of the parts that are going to have any kind of value for fighting or breeding, right? Like, I don't really look at the rarity of the piercing or the hair. I don't
Well,
consider those really.
the war paint might be good for breeding.
Oh yeah, the war paint, especially since they said the war paint's going to be something that has a like a background kind of.
I just mean the name of it.
I like the ease. I like the fact that you have on this one you have 2 rares and an E, and the rares are both matching. So you got the tail and the wings that are matching the core essence. I know they said the divinity, it will strengthen the divinity, the divine part when it matches the core essence. I wonder if that is true for the rarity. I don't think we asked that specifically. I'd imagine it would enhance the rarity too. What do you guys think? So you think because it matches your wings and your tail, matches your essence, it'll give it a little bit of a boost?
Hopefully. I know the
Hopefully, that's
rarity
why you
sniper
bought it.
stuff means nothing right now, so.
Well, the part itself is R, right? The tail, the wings are both R, so it might be stronger in the arena, right?
Yeah.
And of course, right? And
Yeah,
then
and then,
the
like
E
the only
war paint.
part that the horns, right? That's the only, to me, that's the only common part that means anything, right? Like the tail and the wings and the horn and the war paint, those are all going to be parts that actually get utilized for battle stuff, right? Like the hairstyle, the halo, the piercing. In my opinion, those will probably mean nothing when it comes to either battling or breeding, right? But
Well,
you have,
P-Ray had an interesting twist on that. So he kind of used that as his, they call it like a thought co, where to determine who goes first. So, like for example, if you had a cooler hair than someone else, then you get to go first
Or
in
you
his
probably let in. Like, are
in
you
his
let
auto
into it?
battler.
so
Oh,
Vita
okay.
G's
Oh, that's
punk rocker
cool.
is going first every time, eh?
Maybe he
In the
has the
game
initiative.
too, they could probably give you access to like, other chill spots, exclusive areas if you have like an E hairstyle or something like that, right? Which it won't matter in battle, but maybe in access they come up with something cool like that. Yeah, okay. I like this one, Z. I think that's a great acquisition. I might holla at who helps you with this? What sniper was it again?
What's that?
Who was the sniper that helped you with
Arkham.
this?
Oh, Arkham, yeah.
I
Arkham
might
was
give
one
it.
who got it, and then I bought it from Arkham.
I might see
Probably,
what Arkham got and just
yeah.
do it the easy way and just pick from his fucking batch. But we'll see once I'm ready to buy again. Do
Not
we
a bad
have
idea,
one
actually.
other? I know, just let him do the fucking dirty
Yeah.
work and pay him for his services. Shit. Do we have another prime mind for prime time? And I think are we going to try to fight them in the simulation, P-Ray simulation?
We can do that next time or sometime other time. I think like this
Is there
episode's
anybody
gone
tuned
like
in
almost
still?
2 hours.
Is there anybody fucking tuned in still? Is anybody out there watching us that wants to throw a prime number up? If not, I'll use my last one too.
What is it? I mean,
Let's do 709 is the last one I got at that major dip that I was talking about.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
0D.
Oh yeah, the Ilgra.
0D, I think 2P.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, some of these parts are matching. I think they're all common. I gotta
A
fucking
life
pull it up.
one. Yeah, you got life tail and war paint birth. So that might be a good one for mating too.
oh
This is
yeah.
the
Mac and had
2P.
love. You've got birth.
Love and birth.
Definitely mating.
I find that that Halo quite funny. Like it looks like he's got a little floating crown up above his head.
That's that's a big reason why I got him too, man. I had to stick with the King Dav and
Nice.
had to throw a crown up there. I like just how he looks too. Like he's got like the black and the gold thing going on. I think those 2Ps kind of came in where it counted with the tail and the war paint, right? Am I correct? I'm just looking at it right now. Yeah, the
You
war
like the black
paint
and
and the
yellow?
tail. Yeah, so like where
Oh,
it
interesting.
counts is like the tail was yellow, the war paint's yellow. He has the black clothes on anyway with that little tunic, whatever it is, this little skirt, looking good. And then he has
His
like the
fingernails.
death claws, yeah, which is
Yeah.
like black and yellow. Remember that song?
Black and
Yes,
yellow,
sir.
black and yellow.
Yep, that's his theme song, man. Like I like that little black and yellow mansion with the life background. This is my only one that's 0D, but like I said, man, there was a dip in the market I just couldn't deny, so I had to scoop him up. I like him. I needed an Ilgra. You know, he's a little mixed. He has one rare part, rare fangs, which is the arcane, so it's not matching. Everything else is C. He's very basic, but I got the rare fangs, so if you got the arcane, you can take a bite out of another life because the rare part of the arcane is more effective against life. So, life's be careful, man. I like the way he looks. Cool guy. You want to fight him? We might as well fucking complete this show. Is it possible for us to fight them?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, it's actually random.
Let's see.
Can I put him in there? Oh no, he
let's
changed
go.
it. Did he change it?
Yeah. So the way it works is you just have to type battle, and it just picks one from your wallet randomly.
What is the? And I'm gonna sound like very ignorant right here. I've been there before, but I'm trying to find it now. What's it called? What's the channel called?
Oh, the
Coliseum Eternal. I got my series in there. Let's see if we can get your Ilgra.
All right, I'm in there. I just typed my number. That's it right now.
Better be LT. Oh, LT beat you to it.
LT's a fucking LT could be a fucking jerk sometimes, bro. I'm rooting for the fucking series right now. Let's see.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh,
taking him out with the wings. Wings being put to use,
are they?
Boys.
What numbers are they?
It's gonna be
LT's is. What number is that? He's got a Daruk. No, a Whisperer.
Hey boys, real quick, I gotta drop out. I got a buddy who's here now, so
do your thing, man. You're in Vegas, man. Shit, it's your vacation. We're wrapping up right after we see this winner.
All right, guys. Well, I'll drop out and LFG bullish on CA still.
LFG, bro. See you next week. Round 10.
709. We got 709 on there, I think.
That was me.
No,
I wrote the wrong number. I forgot it is. Oh yeah, they choose random. I don't know how this thing works, man, but it's fucking amazing.
648. Yeah, it would be nice. Maybe we should talk to P Ray. Maybe he'll be able to make it so you can
type in the number.
That'd be kind of cool. All right, here we go. So we got so this is LT's Whisperer. Yeah, 6606.
Mm-hmm. All right, and blinded for 2 turns is Z-Mac, and you're blind for 2 turns, man.
LT is going down, 14 health. Oh, yeah, 6 health. Z-Mac.
LT 6, but Z-Mackin was blinded, so it gives him a little bit of time. Z-Mackin's dead. Whoa, critical for 12 damage.
I thought for
6 and 12.
I thought for sure when LT pulled it in at the end. That's crazy.
LT always swooping up at the end. Always swooping in.
Earlier in the week, I did a battle, and this Whisperer is a badass, apparently.
I guess so, dude.
Yeah, I got a Whisperer. I like him. That was one of my first ones off of Mint.
Yeah, they mentioned how he's kind of pointing at his nose. Spoiler alert. They actually mentioned that in the latest lore.
Oh, nice.
Snap. Yeah, that was my first. That was one that I got on the pre-reveal was a Whisperer, and I named him Booger, the Picker of Noses.
Yeah, I got a Whisperer too. I like him. I like the fact he's a gambler. Probably won some mini games. All right, guys. Shit, we're down to look. This is 3. We're the ones that started with episode 0. We're in episode 10, man. Z-Man can take us out, man. How you feeling? How you feeling moving forward?
I mean, I'm staying positive, staying bullish. Always looking forward to the next week with you guys. I'm looking forward to more info coming out for us to be able to talk about, more stuff to be able to hash over, and just dive deep into. I did want to say before we go off, I am going to be doing a much smaller in comparison to Gonzaga's giveaway. Check out my Twitter next week. I want everyone to have a good weekend, so I'm not going to bother them. I'll drop it on
Nice.
Tuesday. It'll end next Friday. And it's more to do with the other major project that I'm really involved with. But hopefully one day it's an esports platform, and one day we'll be playing some Champions Ascension on that platform, and it'll all tie together, brother.
What's the name of the platform, man? Go ahead, say it.
It's called ESTN for Electronic Sports Tournament Network. So,
you still got to sign up coming from me, so maybe I'll join that contest.
Hey, as long as you sign up, anyone that signs up now through my stuff, you go right ahead. I know how many people I had signed up before, and I know what date it was. You'll just have to make sure that you follow directions and actually enter into the contest when I post it.
That's the hard part. Step by step.
Following directions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, take us out for the week, man. How are you feeling?
Super bullish. I love the project. I love that video that we just got dropped, and it looks amazing. I just wanted to do a quick reminder that we're here for the community. It's a lot of fun. It takes a little bit of effort, and like I said, we're here for the community. We want to represent the CA community. We want to represent the guilds. We want to represent the people out there that love this project like we do. And if you have anything you want to bring up, or any points of interest that we should be aware of, let us know. And
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I love the project. I can't wait to play it.
That's
like
exactly
always,
it.
every single time. Can't wait to play it.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this as a community service, really. If the community has anything they want us to talk about, announce, you can even pitch yourself. You want to come on the show? Fuck it, we'll talk to you for a quick segment if you got something to say. We're not shilling other projects here, but if you got something to say that has something to do with CA, come on. We'll talk to you. I'm good. I'm bullish. As you can see, I'm still buying. I'm especially buying when it dips, right? I'm here for the long haul. I'm digging this podcast. Yeah, we're here. We're doing it, man. This was episode 10. We're 10 episodes in. We're going to get up to 100 and more. So nothing more to say, but we will see you all next week. We are all Prime Minds. Look for our swag. Follow us on Twitter. We're going to do some Twitter spaces. We had a marathon episode today. I apologize, but y'all, you can take it in chunks if you want. But we'll also be on Twitter spaces over here moving forward. At Prime Minds Pod. Eternal follow Eternal. We'll see if that still works. You go ahead and follow us. We'll follow you back if you're a holder. But yeah, we'll catch you next week. Same time, same channel. And as you know, as always, Prime Minds think alike. We are out.